Yo, what's up guys? So today we're going to be showcasing off a face down between a budget $30 Shaddol deck going to be facing off against a $300 plus Shaddol deck over here. I mean, have you guys seen the price of Invocation? And it's just crazy how expensive that card is, but nonetheless, it's pretty good. We've also got a lot of newer additions with Shaddolls Clothy, but kind of rising up in price over here, simply due to it being ultra short printed. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and see how this duel faces off. I want you guys to comment down below right now, who do you think is going to win? The budget Shaddol player or the player that is playing the $300 plus Shaddol deck? He's even got a call by the grave. This doesn't look too good for the budget player, considering Apollosa, multiple negates, top decks to Lava Golem. That's one of the best cards out of the structure deck over there, and that's going to get rid of 2 boss monsters. But he goes ahead and gets stopped, and he unfortunately allures into nothing. That's really unlucky after already getting called by the grave, but he still is able to utilize that windy effect over there and get himself at least a Shaddol Beast. He's going to go ahead and flip it face up and get that effect of Shaddol Beast, and he's got a Shaddol Fusion face down ready to go for maybe next turn over here. I'm not sure about setting it as a bluff. I mean, you're pretty much all in at this point, but Clothy, this card is actually, or Cross Sheep as it's now called in the TCG, this card's very expensive considering its rarity, but it's just one of those short printed cards. And so we're going to see a YuGiOh. I remember when this card was 70 plus. It's gone down in price, but still this deck is very, very expensive that the Invoked variant is playing. Okay, good little play over there. At first I was like, okay, you better move that Trick Clown to defense mode with, of course, YuGiOh's effect. He's going to go ahead and Allure of Darkness. Gets nothing again. That is unlucky. That is so unlucky. So he's going to go ahead and be able to stop a YuGiOh's effect with the Al Capone over here. This is the new Dark Shaddol that just requires 2 Shaddol monsters with different attributes. So he's going to go ahead and set up his graveyard. He's still got a Super Poly face down. He's going to go ahead and get rid of the other card because this card can't be destroyed by battle anyways, so there's no point. He's going to go ahead and Super Poly, and that is a huge advantage right now to our budget player. But the Invoked engine is very resilient. He's going to go ahead and chain a Shaddol core because it was going to be destroyed anyways, and it's going to go ahead and now get destroyed. Add back the L Shaddol Fusion, plus he's got a Shaddol Fusion of himself. The Shaddol mirror match really comes down to who's able to better utilize the Shaddol Fusions, specifically being able to really get that effect where you're getting your monsters from the main deck out of the way to go ahead and use your fusions and really OTKing with the Shaddol Fusion plus BLS. Hopefully that card will come out relatively soon because that's one of my favorite cards of all time. He's going to go attack, but the Electromagnetic Turtle is going to go ahead and say no to that. So he's still got the Al Mirage over here. He's going to go ahead and make it so card can't be wrecked by battle, but also over here this card can't be destroyed by battle, but this one also makes it so it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects this turn, so that's temporarily. The Construct is a very good card against any Invoked, but you got to watch out for Macabre. That card will just come out of nowhere. He's got another Magical Meltdown over here and another Shaddol Fusion. He's going to go and place another one to search out the Alistair. Alistair going to go ahead and activate that effect and search out the Invocation, and then he's going to go ahead and make Purgatrio over here, and it's going to gain 200 attack for each card your opponent controls. So as long as he's got like another 2 cards out, he's going to be good to go. He's going to go ahead and now negate the Purgatrio's effect. Now he's going to go ahead and defense himself up a little bit more. He's still got the Shaddol Fusion. Going to reset a Falco to maybe get a monster back from the graveyard. This is actually a really good duel. If you guys are enjoying this video, drop a like on it. I was really expecting a blowout on the first turn when I saw Apollosa. I'm like, okay, that wasn't too spicy, but it's still going, man. We're running down to the last few cards in both players' decks over here, but we got the Mathematician. I actually don't know what happens in this duel as far as how it actually ends, because I kind of wanted to give you guys that reaction. Also, I'm curious to see how it kind of plays out. I did watch like the first half. I'm like, okay, not too bad over here. Then we got Caligo over here. So if player monster tends to activate effect, none of that player's monster can activate their effect for the rest of the turn. Okay, it doesn't have the greatest of stats, but the Mathematician can just run right over it. He's going to go ahead and try to use that fusion, but that Ash Blossom goes ahead and says no. And remember, well, in the budget deck, there's no Ash Blossoms here. And then he's going to go ahead, and we also have no Cloud by the Grave, so there's no like countering that. But this Shaddol structure deck is still really good. Like for a budget deck, you can throw in a few extra cards and make it a lot more viable. Specifically, you know what I actually, no joke, really like in Shaddoll Mirror Match? I like Neospatian Grand Mall. That card was so great back because it would just bounce and then you'd have free access to things, which was quite nice. He didn't even have a spell. Turn 1, he could have actually utilized that Shaddoll Fusion. He probably expected him to have another spell to negate with Makaba, but that would have been a really good option to go ahead and go for that play, and then followed up with a Lava Golem. That would have been really nasty, but again, he probably expected him to negate. So he's going to go ahead and protect the Al Capone App Cologne over here. That name is so hard to pronounce. Anyways, we'll call it AP. Shaddoll AP. Shaddoll App. Anyways, he's gonna go ahead and start proccing those effects. Shaddolls is a very, very good deck if you know how to like recover from it. You can recover out of a lot of different things. But he's gonna once again re-add back the Shaddoll Fusion. He's only got 2 cards in his extra deck. What are they? He's got the Alchemon and the Construct over here. So he's gonna go ahead and make that, negate that monster's effect. Not that it matters, really, because he's just gonna crash over this, but he's still going to be taking the battle damage from 100 every single turn, I guess. So he's going to go ahead and attack, and his can't be destroyed by battle. Remember, he stopped his, but this card's going to get that awesome effect over there. You're going to be able to add any Shaddol card right back, so that you just go right back into the Shaddoll Fusion. And with the Shaddol budget variant, you got lots of cards of, you know, multiples for days over here. I was like, this doesn't come in the structure deck, right? Whatever. This is like a 10-cent card. I don't think anyone's going to complain and be like, yo, that Gaga Samurai, not budget enough, Cap. I'm going to check up. I honestly didn't check up the price of that card. It's probably 10 cents, though. Watch, it's like some like super rare. No, this is definitely budget, though. I'm pretty sure it doesn't come in there, but nonetheless, he's got his driver. He hasn't drawn it yet. He's got 3 copies of Gamma. Dang, dude, that is unlucky. That's like another $30. That's the structure deck all over it. I'm pretty sure. At least last time I checked, this card was like $10. But it's basically the Invoked Fusion. Wow, dude, he came out. Dude, look at this. 1 card left. 3 cards left. This was a pretty epic duel. I gotta give a shout out to both of them, but specifically to Florian. Shout out to you, my homie. He running the budget one, and he took the dub. So I want to give you guys the 2 versions of this. I think this card, I mean, it wasn't really used in here anyways. I don't recall this being in here specifically, but nonetheless, everything in here is from the budget structure deck setup over here, where it's just basically just getting 3 copies of the structure deck and pretty much going on and just going for it. I like it, man. The Lava Golem was clutch. Honestly, dude, I'd bump this card up just so you can deal with turn 1 boards a little bit easier because you have no hand trap. So I can highly recommend Lava Golem specifically because you don't always need your normal summon with Shaddolls. Yeah, it definitely does help out quite a bit. I also would probably utilize Armageddon Knight. I think that'd be another great addition to this deck. But honestly, I'm not a fan of this card myself. But anyways, let's go ahead and go over his build, and I'll give you guys the other guy's build that was the very expensive version, just in case any of you guys, have the money. I mean, is the other one better? I mean, yeah, Apollo's Makaba is a pretty strong turn 1 play. But if that gets disrupted by, let's say, a Nibiru, obviously that's not in the structure deck. But Lava Golem, that's the card to look out for. But anyways, let's give you guys both the deck profiles. So first off, we'll go over you guys deck profiles, and I'll make some suggestions for you guys if you have like other cards. Anyways, Lava Golem, excellent card. Black Laza Soldier, triple copies of Shaddoll Beast, double copies of Dragon, 2 copies of Squamata, 1 copy of Trick Clown, 1 copy of Ariel, 1 copy of Electromagnetic, 3 copies of Windy, 3 copies of Mathematician, 3 copies of Hedgehog. We've got 1 copy of the Quad Shaddoll YuGiOh over here, Shaddoll Falco, 3 copies of Allure, 3 copies of Shaddoll Fusion, and 1 copy of Avarice, 1 Foolish, 3 copies of El Shaddoll, 3 copies of Super Poly, 2 copies of the Resh Shaddoll Incarnation, and then we got Lost Wind, which actually was pretty good. He was able to negate the monster's effect. Quite a great, awesome card to have some form of negations. Not as good as impermanence at the end of the day, but yeah, not budget, right? Anyways, we got Shakanaga, and then 1 copy of the Water, 3 copies of Construct, 1 copy of Grista, 3 copies of the Shaddoll app, and then 1 copy of Wendigo. I honestly think this card could be completely dropped over here. And then 2 copies of Winda, and then 1 copy of Construct. Obviously, with the budget version, you don't have, you're kind of limited to what you've got here. But for the other build over here, this is what he was playing over here. So he's got 3 copies of Meltdown, 3 copies of Invocation. We've got 1 copy of the Driver, and then 3 copies of Gamma, which he drew, but they was just not usable Kappa. And then we've got the Shaddoll Beast, Dragon, 2 copies of Squabana, 1 copy of Trick Clown, 3 copies of Damage Struggler, 1 copy of Hat Tricker, 3 copies of Alistair, 1 copy of Ariel, 2 copies of Windy, 2 copies of Hedgehog, 1 copy of Ash Feet, and then we have 3 copies of Gamma, 1 copy of Falco, 2 copies of the Shaddoll Fusion, 1 copy of Avarice, 1 copy of the Terraforming, 3 copies of Invocation, Foolish, 2 copies of Shaddolls Fusion. I would just bump this up to 3 and this to 1. I don't know. I prefer this card. I think this card is way more insane than this, especially since if you go second. And then 3 copies of the Called, 1 copy of Italy, 3 copies of Meltdown, 2 copies of Resh, 1 copy of Shaddoll Core. And then we have 2 copies of Makaba, 2 Construct, 1 copy of Perk Trio, 1 App, 2 copies of Winda, 1 Kaliga, 1 Borosora, 1 Apollosa. This card is like pushing almost 130 right now, and as far as price goes, this is like 30 bucks too. The Alistair Meltdown, then we got Shaddoll Construct, Claw Thief, and Mirage, which is also like $30. Like I said, and this is easily over $300 if you add all up, especially since these are like 40 a piece right now as a super rare. Yo, we need a reprint, man. Anyways, 2 different builds here, and I think most people are interested in the budget version. And in Sunset 1, let's talk a little bit more about this one and how to make it a little bit better. So first off, one thing that does come in the structure deck is the Armageddon Knight. I think Armageddon Knight is Armageddon Knight. This card is excellent as well. I think Armor Knight could be definitely utilized. I honestly am not a fan of this card. This may be my personal preference. I feel like Shaddoll Hedgehog, well, it is quite a great card. Setting up for the next turn following to go for this is just a little bit too slow. To make the deck maybe a little bit faster, personally, I think that this is another great option. And I think if you happen to have Veilers, that really help out with your Blackluster Soldier count, because at the moment, Trick Clown, and this card also does technically banish itself. You'd be having to banish Construct, which you can reset up with Falco to go ahead and reutilize. And if you're doing grind games, I actually really like Falco, but I think double Lava Golems would be a great addition to this deck. Even triple would be great, because while you do happen to have Super Poly, sometimes you just need to have that extra card at your disposal, because your opponent might just have other things to go ahead and stop your plays. Even though they can't stop Super Poly, they might have impermanences, they might have other things, and I think this could be a great option if you even want to drop this down to 1 and play triple. I honestly think that Lava Golem is so key in this deck, because again, it just disrupts your opponent's stuff that they would normally negate your Shaddoll Fusion with, and you just leave them with a monster from the extract that doesn't have something to stop your Construct with. And then if you can follow up with maybe even a surprise Shaddoll Fusion to go ahead and go for a Winda on their turn. This is a new artwork of Winda over here that can really just give you that huge edge in the game. And I also think one thing that's really good, if you have Veilers, Veilers not too expensive of a card. It is not in the structure deck, but if you can add that in, maybe you can bump up BLS to 2. I think this is a fantastic card as well. You'll always be able to go ahead and have Trick Clown in the graveyard anyways. And if you're going for that banish, make sure you can go for the OTK, otherwise it might not be too good. I know that Mathematician also does technically give you the draw, so maybe that's why he decided to opt to play this instead of... in fact, this card in the OCG, it's at 2 still. But yeah, I think Armageddon Knight is an excellent card as well. It's just another copy of it to kind of speed up the deck over here. You know what? Thinking about it now, because you can go ahead and dump Windy in there, this is actually a little bit better in a sense, but then this card is also a dark, so it helps. I think it's still okay to play Armageddon Knight. Anyways, if you guys want to give any suggestions to any budget Shaddoll players for any other cards, let's keep it under like a couple dollars as far as like, you know, what else to add in here, because at the end of the day, I wanted this video to kind of showcase off the budget variant more than the expensive variant, but it was a cool idea to show off the expensive version versus a cheap one. And the real MVP honestly came down to Lava Golem. But anyways, that's how it comes out sometimes in Yu-Gi-Oh! But hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new here, hit subscribe, turn on that bell so you don't miss out on new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels. I like this idea. I'll probably do more of a series of like $300 plus deck versus like $30, because that's a good little like price range. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. If you guys want to send me any other replays of any Shaddoll variants, because I think a lot of people are back up on the Shaddoll train just because, well, it's pretty good. Speaking of that, Shaddoll trains can definitely also be a thing, but that'll be a topic for another day. But I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one. I'm signing out. Peace.